Now on 7 News at noon, a judge makes a decision on whether we'll get to see all of the body cam video of a former Asheville police officer who's charged with beating a suspected jaywalker.
And dozens of Russian diplomats are being kicked out of the U.S. by the Trump administration. Hear why other nations are also expelling Russians after the poisoning of a former spy. Now here's Malachi with your forecast first.
Well, a very good Monday afternoon, everyone. It is a chilly Monday afternoon. In fact, temperatures are still in the 40s in the upstate. A few 30s still on the map in Brevard and Hendersonville with 41 in Asheville. We have winds out of the northeast at about 5 to 15 miles an hour. That's dragging in some cold air, locking clouds in place and keeping temperatures on the chilly side. Temperatures today only expected in the low 50s in the upstate and western North Carolina, but we do see a warm up in our 7-day forecast. I'll talk more about that coming up at about 12:17. 7 News at noon starts now.
Covering local news first for Carolina's family. This is 7 News at noon.
Good afternoon. I'm Fred Cunningham.
And I'm Sabila Vargas. Thanks so much for joining us. We begin with breaking news at noon. A hearing just wrapped up in Asheville where a judge decided to release body camera footage from an excessive force incident dating back to August. Our Brianna Smith was inside the courtroom and joins us live from Asheville. Brianna?
Yeah, just because that judge ruled today to release that video next Monday doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen anytime soon. Let's show you what video we're talking about, though. This is video of that August incident that was leaked to the Asheville Citizen-Times last month, but the city says it's one of 9 videos they want released with this court order. Former Asheville officer Christopher Hickman has now been charged for beating citizen Johnny Rush after stopping him for jaywalking. The city attorney stated today that the release of the video is necessary to calm the community's outrage over this incident, while the district attorney and Hickman's attorney both filed objections to the order, stating it would prevent a fair trial for Hickman. Now, the DA and Hickman's attorney both have a week to file an objection and an appeal to this, which could drag this out in court, meaning that video could not be released on Monday, but we have a hearing set for 2 p.m. then, and we'll find out the full story. We're live here in Asheville for you at noon. Brianna Smith, 7 News.
Brianna, thank you.
We checked, and investigators now say a fire started in the laundry room at a center that helps dozens of children with behavioral and emotional disorders. This happened at the Williamston Youth Academy just before 6:30 last night. We're told smoke could be seen coming from the building when firefighters got there. The building was evacuated and crews were able to contain the fire to one room. No one was hurt. State agents are now helping Anderson County investigators. New at noon, the U.S. is kicking out 60 Russian diplomats and closing Russia's embassy in Seattle in response to a poisoning. The expelled Russians have 7 days to leave the U.S. The British Prime Minister says 18 nations have expelled a total of more than 100 Russian officials. Britain has blamed Russia for the poisoning of a former Russian spy and his daughter earlier this month. Russian officials have denied the accusations. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Nikki Haley said in part in a statement, quote, "Here in New York, Russia uses the United Nations as a safe haven for dangerous activities within our own borders. Today, the United States and many of our friends are sending a clear message that we will not stand for Russia's misconduct."
Adult film star Stormy Daniels spoke publicly for the first time about her alleged affair with President Trump. Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, broke a non-disclosure agreement to do the interview. She says that she signed the NDA because she had been threatened in the past and she was afraid. President Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, admits paying Daniels $130,000 of his own money to stay quiet. Representatives for President Trump have denied the affair ever took place, but it's the non-disclosure agreement that could do the biggest damage.
May create an election violation that is with the FEC. The person who could be in trouble for that is Michael Cohen, as well as the campaign.
Pay Daniels just days before the election, and that could represent a campaign contribution. Watchdog groups have pushed the Federal Election Commission to launch an investigation of the Cohen payment. In order to do so, each of the FEC's 4 commissioners would need to sign off.
The former pastor of New Spring Church is welcoming a new congregation. You might remember Perry Noble was removed from New Spring because of family and alcohol issues. In the summer of 2016, he announced on Twitter that Second Chance Church is having its first public worship services next weekend. Easter is this Sunday. The church location is on West Church Street in Anderson. New at noon, groundbreaking has been finished for a new park that celebrates Greenville's textile industry history. Textile Heritage Park will be built on 6 acres across Smythe Street from the lofts of Greenville. During the early days of the textile industry, the land north of downtown Greenville was known as Central Park. It was a gathering place for families of those workers to relax, enjoy music, and have parades.
New at noon, Governor Henry McMaster is in the upstate to celebrate the grand opening of a new building for a BMW supplier. Magna Seating has a new facility in Moore. It makes seats for 3 models of BMW cars produced in Greer. The supplier's plant has been in operation since December, but not all at full production. Magna Seating plans to hire a total of 500 people to work there over the next few years. And BMW is also hiring today in their plant in Greer. The automaker in the upstate needs to hire maintenance technicians. The job fair is happening right now at the SC Works office in Spartanburg, and it goes until 4 this afternoon, but you're asked to apply with SC Works online before you head there.
Changes could be coming for pet owners living in Spartanburg. City leaders are looking at redefining what it means to protect your pets from things such as extreme weather. Christine Scarpelli has more from City Hall.
The Spartanburg City Council Animal Ordinance Committee will come together and report their findings this evening at a Spartanburg City Council meeting. The committee was formed in January after Mayor Junie White heard from concerned citizens about sub-freezing temperatures and protecting animals that are typically left outside. The committee had several major goals. They wanted to set a temperature standard for cold weather to ensure animals are protected from freezing temperatures, and then also clarify tethering laws, making sure that animals don't spend too much time outside. They also looked to strengthen language that related to having shelter for animals, specifically dogs, within the city of Spartanburg. This after hundreds of residents started a petition for a stronger ordinance to keep animals safe. This is also a topic that's been discussed in cities and counties all over the Carolinas, most recently in Greenville. There, 36 degrees is the coldest temperature that a dog, an animal, can be left outside in the cold. Here in Spartanburg, they're discussing temperatures in the 20s. In Spartanburg, Christine Scarpelli, 7 News.
Coming up next at noon, say hello to Boeing's newest and biggest Dreamliner yet. We will tell you where the South Carolina-built 787-10 was delivered.